Hello and welcome. We are so excited to welcome you to Living Cities Earth experience. Please enjoy the next few minutes, and we hope that this video and the ideas from our speakers will change your life to the better. Listen carefully. What particularly talks to you? What might have a chance to change your life and lives of people around you? Also, life of your place and our planet. We believe that you, the leaders of positive change, are those who define the future. So let's work together. And thank you for coming. Wow, Marina, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. You look beautiful. Thank you for bringing your beauty, internal and external, to our session.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. And I'm glad to pick an end of the previous discussion, because we will continue talking about happy cities. And it's really the collection of wisdom which was manifested here. And it's so precious. And I'm grateful for each of us and each speaker who contributed to this beautiful conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You were with us in spirit, and we know that tomorrow is a very special day for you. So on behalf of all of the humanity and the planet Earth, we would like to, I don't know how you say it, if the birthday is tomorrow, so a happy upcoming birthday. Happy upcoming birthday, Marina.
Thank you so much. Yes, I liked this, some sort of rhymes, Earth Day, birthday. So I'm very proud of it. So yes, I will celebrate tomorrow. And today I'm happy to be here.
Is it that every year your birthday coincides with the Earth Day, or?
Yes, it is.
Always?
Always.
Amazing. Well, it's very special to be with you. Then to everyone who is watching us on YouTube, and thank you for everyone who joined us in Zoom as well. By the way, those of us who are in Zoom, I see that Farrell is here, and Joanne. Hello, Joanne. It was nice to see you. You're very welcome, and Chantal as well. You're very welcome to ask questions during the presentation. So it's a live and very informal, really, setting. And Marina, as I said, is well, the unique person who worked for a number of years as an advisor to a mayor of a real city, an advisor on happiness and well-being of citizens. How amazing. So Marina is also a researcher. She holds a PhD in economics and did a lot of different beautiful things in her life. And the first question I guess I would like to ask you, Marina, is with everything you have learned, the good things, and there are challenges in the cities, do you believe in the idea of a happy city, or is it just a dream and it's never achievable?
Well, it's a very good question, because it depends on what to consider a city. If we consider a city as a number of infrastructural objects, buildings, roads, and some cars, and motorways, of course, it's, I think, far from happiness, but I truly believe that happiness is first of all, city is people first of all, and I would like to make a small presentation, if you let me, about it. And I think that it is absolutely in our power, in our energy, in our capacity to choose to be happy and to contribute to be happy ourselves, to make happy our neighbors, and of course to make our cities happy, thriving, and healthy in many, many different aspects of being healthy. So if you don't mind, I would like to maybe make a small introduction, and then we could continue discussion, because I have two small sessions today, one after another, and they are completely about one thing. They are about their story of creating of their methodology of diagnosis and development of happiness in cities. So if you don't mind, I'll start with some history, and then we will come to some ideas which were born due to Yulev, thanks to Merlin and many other our dearest colleagues who contributed to the creation of this beautiful concept of happiness in the city. So let me start, and please feel free to stop me and ask questions if you like to. So
thank you. While you are putting on the slides, did I understand you correctly that if we think about a city as a infrastructure's object, then there is no happiness inside. But if we consider city as a social phenomena with all the people, communities, then there is a hope.
Yes, because I think that happiness is the inseparable part of their living system of any kind, of any scale. And if we are talking about buildings, they don't have soul. And if we are talking about the living system, be it a person or a planet itself, I think that a planet also can be happy if all her inhabitants are happy too. So that's my idea about it. Can you see my slides that I share?
I guess I see the title. Maybe it's a title slide.
Yes, our beautiful colleagues and designers created such a beautiful titles of our presentations. I'd like to share it. So you have already introduced myself, so I will be very succinct. I think about myself as the weaver of the abundant reality, because I think that I live to contribute not only happiness, but integrity, holicity, and balance in different systems, different social systems and different living systems. And I also think about myself as an earthling with the Slavic roots, because I think that our culture, our land gives us a lot of energy and capacity to contribute to humanity. And it's really important to have the ability to communicate with this land's energy, but we also take this energy to contribute it to planet, to contribute it to the better life, to human and well, as we say in our living cities Earth. So as Lev also said that I have been working for some time as the advisor to the mayor on the holistic well-being and happiness of citizens. And it was a truly inspiring experience, and it provoked, I would say, a great research work which continues until now, and I hope that we will be able to contribute to many, many cities globally. So the main task for me as the advisor to the mayor was to somehow provide the comprehensive analysis of the potential of the city, how we can provide the development of happiness, to elaborate some sort of the integral happy city index, because there are a lot of happiness indices in the world, but we thought that it's really important to measure not only the level of contentment and not only the objective parameters of what conditions are created in the cities to make their citizens, their inhabitants happy, but also to measure at what extent people can realize their creative potential, how they are engaged proactively in the creation of happiness in their cities. So one of the tasks was to create such an index, to form a leadership team which will provide this happiness development, and to create their city community of these leaders who want to promote happiness, and to make an action plan, and to involve as much citizens as possible in implementing this plan into the reality. So at this moment, first of all, we faced their problem. What is happiness? And first of all, I Googled it, and I read some books, and the main idea was that happiness is the range of feelings. That is why I am convinced that buildings can't have feelings, and that is why happiness is the feature of living systems of any kind. So the term of happiness is used in the context of some mental or emotional states, and it's a range of feelings from the contentment to the intense joy, inspiration, euphoria, and so on. It is also used in the context of life satisfaction, which I have already mentioned in some happiness indices, which are used globally. And also when we speak about happiness, we speak about subjective well-being and flourishing. And at the same time, we discussed with our colleagues that happiness is a subjective assessment of inner state of a person. So you can't say whether a person, to what extent a person happy until you ask this person. So we know that sometimes people are smiling, but they are not really happy. And sometimes maybe a person is absolutely happy, calm, and harmonized inside, but this person doesn't jump, doesn't cry, doesn't express somehow their feelings externally. So we discussed that perhaps we should speak about different types or different tiers of happiness. And referring to the ancient wisdom, we defined that the most common, the most in general, we think that happiness, and we understand that happiness is something which is equal to contentment when we achieve something which we wanted very much. And this is somehow the hedonistic approach, which was coined by Aristippus in the ancient Greece. And it's not the happiness which can last for a long time, because you know you are happy when you have a new car, but not for a long time. You are happy when you have a new house, maybe a little bit longer than the car, but at the end you get used to it. And in this case, we can speak about different type of another type of happiness, which is the happiness of creation and care for something or for somebody. And here's the eudaimonic happiness, which was coined by Aristotle and his successors. And this is about our inspiration of giving something, not only taken by but contributing something and helping somebody else nearby to become happy. And of course, we mustn't forget about the third level or maybe tier of happiness, which is not connected with achieving something, obtaining something, or even creating something. It's the existential happiness which is described in Buddhism and many different ancient traditions and philosophical approaches. It is about the happiness of pure being. I am happy despite of having or not having something. I'm happy despite of doing, acting, creating, and this happiness could be achieved in any conditions. And I think that Dalai Lama told a lot about this state of happiness. And his book of Joy is a magnificent embodiment of what is the happiness of pure being, describing this term and this state of happiness. So, and it's our choice to choose whether to be happy for some period of time by consuming something, or by creating something, or by purely being and simply being, or by combining all these three types of happiness, because it's not the choice of one or another. I think that we can integrally combine different states of happiness and create something meaningful out of these states. So then we coined some 3D model, because we understand that not only one person can and may and should be happy, but it is really important to think about happiness in the organizations, happiness in the societies, and global happiness, of course, because today we are talking about the planet and the humanity, and maybe happiness of many, many different other species in addition to human beings. So I will not describe it in details, but we have created this 3-to-3 metrics, and we have described the different states of happiness through consumption, of happiness which could be achieved through creation and care, and the pure state of happiness is the happiness of pure being on their personal, organizational, and societal level. So with this approach, we started to find out, first of all, you could use these metrics in assessment of the state of happiness on different levels and in different aspects in the city, understanding what could be done in order to increase the parameters and the state of happiness in each of these parts of the matrix. And here I would like to refer to my dearest friend and teacher and colleague in the Living Cities Earth, Marilyn Hamilton, who coined these 4 nesting levels for peace, a master code of care in living systems. And she also describes this step-by-step increasing of our influence and of our care from simple one person to the planet itself. And of course, it is also about a person, people, for example, in the community and organization, a place, and the society of people who live on this place, and planet itself as a and the humanity which inhabits this planet. So Marilyn tells us that in her books, she tells us that first of all, a person should care about themselves. It's really important to be in the state of creativity, contentment, and being able to care for somebody else. Then we come together with the dear people, and we start to take care about each other. And after this, we become able to take care about the places where we live. These places are not only cities or some human settlements, but also the bioregions where these settlements are situated. And by connecting these places, these happy places, made happy by people who live in these places, we can make our planet happy itself by creating these harmonious interactions and relationships with many different living species in the bioregions around our places. And at the previous discussion, Alexander mentioned the term gardening, and I recollected the quotation by Martin Heidegger, which I love very much. He wrote, "To dwell is to garden," and I think that it's a really inspiring and beautiful metaphor, because a dweller, a citizen, a person who lives somewhere, he's not a conqueror. He is not a master. Heidegger also wrote, "A man is not the lord of being, but the shepherd of being." And I think that this humbleness, being the shepherd of being, is a truly great metaphor to understanding of our role for the places where we live, where we dwell, and for the planet itself. So we also understood that it's really important to take into the account different dimensions of the development of the city. And we used the integral approach coined by Ken Wilber as Living Cities Earth is as a community of the integral practitioners who use this approach. And it is really important to take into account not only some objective aspects of the city development. We have spoken about architecture, roads, transport infrastructure. So the city is not only this objective pieces of something. Yes, it is also it has also the internal aspects, and this is about the values, about the purpose, about culture, about beliefs, about communities of people and their understanding of what for they are living, what for they are making something on this in this city and in this planet. So we also discussed that it is important to make a city happy in all these aspects. It is important to make the infrastructure which makes people happy, and maybe not only people, yes, and many other animals, birds. It will be good if plants as well, which also should be happy being in this city. It is also about some specific actions, behavioral norms which should be provided in the city, which makes people happy in the city. And of course, it is about some cultural development of the city and bringing the sense of ownership and being proud of, for people to call themselves the citizens of this city. It is about the city identity, the image of the city, the desire of people to stay in the city, to live in the city, and to contribute to the development of the city where they live. So this is also one of the approaches which we use speaking about development of happiness in the cities. And thus we come to some sort of the 360 happiness, circle happiness assessment, where we use 3 levels of sustainability, which is about not only the profit, but also about people, about planet, which is about social and environmental aspects, not only economical. And we also take into the consideration personal level of happiness in the city, organizational level, and societal level. We also look after providing the conditions for the people, to be happy, both with being able to consume and to satisfy their needs, I will say so, and to realize their creative potential, to contribute according to their inner values, their inner purpose, and their understanding of what should be done to human well. Yes, and so we also use these 4 vectors in the Equal approach, and 4 circles of care which were created by Marilyn Hamilton. And with such a holistic approach, we came to the understanding that we can make some methodological framework for creating a program of a plan of development in the city to take into account different aspects of development of happiness for the citizens. again, I will not go in details in order to describe this framework, but as you can see, we have 3 different levels: personal layer, organizational layer, societal layer. We have 4 aspects of development, 4 quadrants on each layer, and we also use the approach of the evolutionary growth named spiral dynamics in order to assess the degree of development, the stage of development in each of these quadrants. So to finish my my presentation, I would like to say that we have created this inner key approach, which is the methodology which helps to both assess and to motivate people to contribute to the development of their happiness in the cities, and to engage them in various absolutely different aspects of creating of happiness in the city according to their own values, according to their stages of development, according to their passion, of their purpose of life. And it's a really comprehensive approach, which then was scaled to many different cities. And my next presentation will be focused on specific on this approach and what could be achieved using it in every city globally. So dear Lev and dear others, if you have some questions, I will be happy maybe to answer them, or to maybe speak further about this approach which was born in the little mining city Zverevo, where I was the advisor for the city mayor on well-being and happiness of citizens. And then, thanks to this event in my life, we have created such a wonderful diagnostic instrument which helps many people and thousands of people in many cities to provide happiness in their cities with their own hands. Mm-hmm. And that's precious.
Marina, it's really special to listen to you, see those slides, and sort of try to process. And I understand now why I don't have a PhD and you do have a PhD, because you work with such complex models and frameworks, and I know that you also put them into practice, making some practical research on the ground. And this is really amazing. So I applaud you with sort of from the bottom of my heart. And one quick question, and maybe some other colleagues want to ask you questions, and then of course we'll move on to your presentation on inner key. Here is the question. So you've been researching and practicing and supporting other people with creating conditions for, you know, social happiness and well-being. Over those years, and I know that at least in my view it was about 5 years, and likely there was some more. So how did it affect you? I'm just curious, because at our panel where we started is how each one of us is able to build happiness in our personal situation, in our family life, in our community, and then how we can sort of save the planet, the 4 levels you presented from Marilyn. So it's more a personal question. So if I may ask you, how working with the social, let's say, dimension was affecting your personal situation, if there is any connection?
Great, thank you. Of course, it influenced me a lot. First of all, I am a fan of using my own methodologies in my personal personal ideas for my personal life, and this framework, which helps to assess where you have, in which aspect of your life you have gap if you feel unhappy. It helps a lot. Of course, it doesn't mean that working in this wonderful area of happiness development, I am happy and totally happy 24 hours, 7 days a week. Absolutely not. But it helps me to understand when I feel some disconnection, some discomfort, maybe some dissonance, I'm able to find where is the gap and in what you know, it's some sort of the shelves in the library. I like this metaphor. You know, on which shelf, in which row of books, you know where you can find the answer. And this helps a lot because this framework which we coined, elaborated, is a diagnostic tool to understand where is a small spot of unhappiness and how to fix it in order to make all the system of my life more alive, more harmonious, more healthy. And it really helps. And I use this methodology not only in consulting for the mayors in different cities, but also for individual consulting, because it really helps to understand what should be done and how all our beautiful lace of life could be more harmonious. So it's a healing system, I would say.
Wow, you have made it. You just watched amazing insights from experts of Living Cities Earth ecosystem. We welcome you to the Living Cities Earth experience and hope that we are going for a long ride as we take care of ourselves, our communities, our cities, and our planet. Thank you and welcome.